Welcome to Pod Maverick After Dark. I am Kirk Anderson, and I am joined, as always, by Josh Bowe. We are your go-to source for the happiest Mavericks bullshit that you could ever imagine. Josh, how are you?
I'm doing good. I'm going back to my bit from last season. I'm in the dark. Mavericks don't deserve me to turn on my closet light.
Oh my God. So look, the Mavs suck. And that's all we got. See you guys tomorrow.
Yeah. I thought it was very like I wasn't paying too much attention to the broadcast in terms of like listening, like I was just watching. But like when I were like listening to the Mavericks broadcast, both the game broadcast and then, you know, the studio show, I could tell that there was like a genuine effort to try to describe what was happening without just saying this team sucks, because they can't just say that. And that's not just because, you know, they're biased for that. Even if they were even if they were trying to be as unbiased as possible, like you can't just go on a TV broadcast and be like, this team is dog shit. Like that's just not how it works. And you can just tell they're just like they just kept trying to describe what they were seeing without saying this team is playing like dog ass. So I thought that was kind of funny, and I don't envy, I don't envy them, because we could say it, but that's kind of all we could say. Like this was the first game of the season that I felt like this was less about like this team is just bad, and this felt like they gave up a little. They gave up in the first and third quarter. Like this was the first time all season where I felt like they just stopped. They lost because they stopped playing hard, not necessarily because the team is bad. But the team being bad doesn't help. I'm just saying that's how you get down by 35 instead of losing by like 9. Is they completely let go of the rope in the second and third quarters. But yeah, I don't know what else to say.
So in full disclosure, I didn't watch this game. My son had not one, not two, but 3 flag football games tonight, and I got to watch parents of 8 to 10-year-olds get like incredibly angry. Not incredibly, that's not fair. It's just you're out there on a Friday night, and my son's team has this running back who is the second coming of Barry Sanders. Like they can't touch him. And so what just happens is our coach will give him the first 2 carries, we'll be up 14 points, and then nobody can win. And so it's like they just kind of it's very funny. And so I'm out there watching that, and then there's a lot of Mavs fans amongst the parents who have gotten to know him, and I'm showing them the game. And like all these people, I've been telling people before the season starts, I was like, I just don't think they're going to be great. I was like, I don't think they're going to be awful, but I don't think they're going to be great. And, we former Mavs Moneyball writer Matthew, who used to pop in here from time to time, just sent me a message where he goes, I can't even gloat because they're much worse than even I thought. And Matt, if you guys ever heard his takes on the show, was like the most confident human in the existence of man in terms of firing off like sports takes. It's just fantastic. And so like they're just bad. And one of the things that I'm finding, and I keep telling people this, is like, I told our staff this, being this bad is interesting. And it's interesting because it shouldn't fucking be possible. This team has good players.
They do.
Good players. And what we're seeing is what happens if you take good players and put them in a formless system that does aimless ball movement outside from the hoop, paired with a defense that is really lackluster in any sort of effort or energy. And I have all these dumb people that are like, well, your best player's out. What does Anthony Davis fix?
That's not an excuse. That's built into it. He's always out.
That's a good point.
He's always out. Like you can't, if your excuse is, well, Anthony Davis is out, then you might as well not watch, like, because he's always going to be out. Like I don't like you can't. I don't. He's been in Dallas for 6 months and he's played like 15 games. Like I don't like. You can't use the injury excuse. You traded. Anthony Davis didn't show up on their doorstep like an unwanted puppy without a collar. Like they wanted him and he doesn't play. Like that's his thing.
He showed up fat. He showed up fat and he ended up in the exact same position that Luka Doncic was accused of being in. Like that's the part that's really fucking funny. If you're a sick person, and which at this point, the Mavericks are 2-7, you can classify me as a sick man. And you just got to find dark humor in it. I don't want him to be injured. You get I have these cadre, like, look, on social media, it's kind of a weird place. You get these people that I interact with, it's like, well, you want him to fail. No, I don't want him to fail. I want the Mavericks to be good. The Mavericks are good. More people are in this room. More people are listening to this show. When the Mavericks suck, there's an initial interest of like, oh, hey, we're here. This is really weird. And then what happens?
What do you call it? Schadenfreude or whatever.
It's so bad that it's interesting. And then what happens is people find other stuff to do. This is not 1978 where there's 3 broadcast channels and you have to watch the Mavericks because it's wintertime and they're all that's on TV. The NBA, this is partially why ratings are down. This has nothing to do with the product. It's just people have choice. And when they have choice, they're certainly not going to listen to a Mavs podcast. There's like 19 of us out there. Shout out to Mavs Digest, to our guy, slightly biased, to Nick, and everyone else that's doing shows. But like, there's just not an interest for this.
This isn't when we were in high school in 2006, where it's like, oh, well, it's not Thursday night. There's no office. The office isn't on. What else is there to do? I'm going to watch the Mavs, even if they stink tonight. Like,
that's right. That's right. And here we are. Okay. So this will be a shorter show. I doubt I'm going to go off on I somehow made the front page of Reddit, which is making
NBA Reddit or real Reddit.
Oh, NBA Reddit, but that's caused
big. That's big.
One of my high school teammates who I've legitimately not talked to since 2001 found my phone number to text message me and be like, what the fuck? Shout out to all you weirdos. But so it's like there's just not a ton to talk about here unless there's like some interesting post-game quotes, which I mean we'll see at a certain point in time. So talk to me, like just kind of walk us through the quarters here, because I saw the Mavericks were down 10. Like it just looked like a repeat of everything where their offense has no juice in the first quarter.
Yeah, I mean it's their offense actually wasn't. I mean, this game wasn't about their offense to me. I mean, their offense wasn't great, but they got to the paint okay. And I mean, a lot of it is definitely like the garbage time. Let me look what it was in the first half. Yeah, I mean, in the first half, they made 16 shots in the paint. Like they were 8 of 10 in the restricted area. That's not bad for this team. They only took 3 mid-range shots in the first half. They couldn't hit any threes, but that's expected.
Par for the course.
Right.
What were the quality of the threes? Were they decent looks, or were they the kind of like, oh shit shots that they occasionally have to have?
They were okay. Like, I think they touched the paint more tonight, which is funny because Jack wrote a great story about how this team doesn't touch the paint.
Yes.
They definitely touch the paint more often tonight. Like, again, the first thing that doesn't come to me, this is not a game about the offense, even though they scored 104 points. They missed all their threes. They got their butts whipped on defense because we've been saying.
Could you guys be quiet?
What we've been
sorry.
Okay. No, but what we were just talking about, like everyone's like, this defense is 6th best in the NBA, and me and you were like, after these shows, like I don't see a top 10 defense through these first 8 games or whatever. Like people are just like, well, if they could just make some shots, their defense is probably
yes. Okay, you've been waiting for this point. Talk about that.
I mean, they got variance finally by 3-pointers. Like they have been entering tonight, teams are shooting 32% on threes against the Mavericks. Like that's pretty good, and I don't think a lot of that is, to me, 3-point percentage defense is a little luck. Now it's not all of it, but to me, 3-point defense is about limiting the attempts and the quality of the attempts, and the Mavericks have done an okay job there, but they've been, I mean, like the Indiana game, the New Orleans game, that Oklahoma City game in the fourth quarter where the Thunder missed like every single wide open 3 they shot. Like they were due for a game like this, where a team like actually made the threes that the Mavericks have been giving up. And that's what happened. Like Memphis was 10 out of their first 20 from 3. Now they finished 13 of 35, which is the only reason why this was a 14-point game instead of a 40-point game, which is what it was trending towards. But this team can't stop dribble penetration, and when you can't stop dribble penetration, you have to over rotate and help, and you have to scramble. And what does that lead to? It leads to open threes.
Okay.
And they don't have any shot block. They don't have, without Anthony Davis or Derek Lively, they don't have any pressure at the rim. Like their best shot blockers right now are probably PJ Washington, Cooper Flagg. I mean, it's still Gafford. Like Gafford's good when he gets there, but you can play with Gafford in space better than you can with AD and Lively. Like in the
what the shit happened to Gafford? What the world?
You want to guess how many defensive rebounds he had?
I mean,
tonight?
one. He had one rebound. He had one statistic.
In 12
one
minutes.
rebound.
Yeah.
That's all.
And then didn't play in the fourth quarter because of ankle soreness, which is the ankle that he came back from. So that's why
he's playing on a bum ankle as our other two bigs are dealing with whatever the hell's wrong with them. Yeah.
Yeah, we'll see because the Mavericks play tomorrow. So we'll see if that was we're not going to win this game. Let's sit him for the fourth quarter and get ready for tomorrow, or let's see if that was like legitimate. He re-injured his ankle.
Hope not.
And he needs to sit out. Right. Because they need him, even if he sucks at rebounding. They still need his offensive presence. But yeah, I mean, they got, they gave up 74 points in the first half. The team Memphis made 10 of them. Like, that's what we've been talking about. Like, the margin for error for this team is so razor thin. Like,
if you get shelled from three, they lose.
Right. They get shelled. You get shelled from three and it's over. It doesn't matter how good you do anywhere else, which by the way, they don't do that great anywhere else, but they could play a perfect game for them and still lose because they can't make up the math difference. Now, they didn't play a perfect game. That's why they lost by 14. That's why they were down by 35. But this is what it looks like when teams make their threes. And that's going to happen. Like I'm not saying more often than not, but I think that's what the last week or so, I think, has lulled people into thinking this team just needs to fix their offense and they'll be better. And yeah, obviously, they're dead last in offense. They have an offensive rating that would be offensive to teams from 2005, let alone 2025. But they're not going to win just by improving. Like there's some holes on their defense because they don't have good ball pressure. They don't have a good way to contain dribble penetration. Sorry, I can't talk. And then the other thing, I'm rambling now, but like this roster is so imbalanced. It's like, okay, do you want to fix the offense? Well, you have to play more D'Angelo Russell and Brandon Williams. Okay, those guys can't guard. Like they can't. I love Brandon Williams. I think he should be playing 25 minutes a night for this team, irregardless of his defensive deficiencies. But like, if the Mavericks offense can only score when those two guys are on the floor and those two guys can't guard, it's like, I feel like it's like they can either be a good defensive team that can't score or a team that can score a little bit better, but then can't get stops. Like they don't have enough two-way players. So to like, and when I say two-way players, Anthony Davis can score and can defend. PJ Washington can score and defend, but they don't have a playmaker that can also hold his own on defense, which is obviously like the rarest. Like that's what every team needs. But I don't know. I feel like the team is scrambling to find like. It feels like Kid is like, okay, well, we're going to lean into all defense. Well, we can't score. We're losing. Okay, well, I got to play Russell. I got to play Brandon Williams. Well, now we can't get stops. And I don't know what the answer is. Like the roster is just too imbalanced, especially while Anthony Davis is hurt.
That's right. Okay. So the second and third quarters happen. They get shelled from three is essentially what you're telling me. Yeah.
Yes, they got detonated from three.
Okay. So that's sort of that. And
Memphis got to the free throw line a bunch because they, because again, that it dribble
penetration. Shelled from three, you overcorrect,
right?
You close out harder. It's just the way basketball works, right. Which is sort of here we are. Okay. And then in the fourth quarter, they made the Grizzlies scored 16 points, and the Mavericks still lost by 14. That's how bad that was. All right, here's what we're gonna do. We're gonna take a quick break, and then we're going to be right back to talk about a few more things. So if you would like to support our show in a real direct way, I have pinned a comment in the chat. It is in the show notes. It is something that Josh and I split down the middle. And then if you don't want to do that because giving strangers money on the internet is weird, you can just listen to the ads, which will also get Josh and I paid that way. We will be right back. Okay. If you're new to the show, if you found us by hook or by crook, I host a secondary show, fan-driven show where you can call in and join. I am firmly of the opinion that the only way to get through terrible times is with people that you can laugh with or argue with. And at least arguing about basketball to a person is much funner than doing it over a keyboard. So stick around if you're here in the YouTube. We'll be hosting that show, Another Group Therapy is what I call it. And then subscribe to the show. Really would appreciate that. Okay, so trying to think like what else is there. I'm at a little bit of a loss because I'm curious. I've been clicking the timeline to see if we get any post game quotes, something of interest. Like we joked last night because there was a real bad, like Max Christie's pretty face got sent out there to give a there's nothing on fire quote, kind of the was essentially the gist. And it's just like, and we have 2 articles up about that quote on Mavs Moneyball because it's so bad, where it's the dog sitting in the burning room meme. It's like, this is fine. And we've now escalated like 2-7.
They've lost to Memphis, Washington, and New Orleans, and those teams have a combined Washington has 1 win, Memphis has 4 wins, New Orleans has 2 wins. Like the fact that they're losing these games right now, when you can't get any easier than the last few games that they've played. Where do the wins come from if they can't beat these teams?
For some historical context, the Mavericks with 2018-2019 started off 2-7, just like this team, and then ripped off 5 of their next. Oh man, they ripped off like 8 of 10 after starting 2-7. This is the Mavericks play the Wizards tomorrow, and like even this way, the Mavericks shouldn't lose to the Wizards.
If they lose that game, like we have to
we said that about the last 2 games. Like,
I know, but if they lose that game, like I don't even want to. I already don't want to watch these games because it's not fun. But if they lose that Washington game, like why are we even doing this? Like
6 p.m. start time.
That's
got
good.
That going for you.
Yeah.
But I like they're inching closer and closer to the 2017-18 start to the season, which was the worst start going back to like the 90s. They started off 3-15, 5-17 before things stabilized a little bit. I mean, this is just wild. It's just wild. And I had my little Nico rant, but the real challenge about this is like doing that every game doesn't do anything. Until it starts to affect the bottom line, nothing's going to change. The owners don't care. They don't care.
If they cared, it wouldn't have gotten to this point.
That's right. That's right. We got a person from the chat who just donated some kind of figure that I have no idea what it is, but he said the owners don't care, which is the biggest problem. And I think Nico has real problems with non-American players. Josh and I probably shouldn't comment to the former, but I will simply stare into my computer screen and you can fill the gap with how I feel about that. I don't think Kid I don't like defending Kid. But you can't fire, does firing the coaches do anything? This is a roster problem, and everyone should be panicking because Nico only knows how to double down. He only knows how to double down.
I mean, even firing Nico doesn't really do anything other than the psychological relief.
I think there's a psychological, like we see Najee Marshall. These guys are sharing stuff on social media they really probably shouldn't be doing. Klay Thompson literally told a fan that he missed Luka during a game. There's some stuff afoot, and there's you don't wash an existential funk off a franchise with one firing. You build it back.
Kind of what I mean. Yeah.
Tim Cowlishaw of the Dallas Morning News wrote the Fire Nico column today. I mean, it's 9 months late, but whatever. Welcome to the party, Tim. I don't see I don't want to talk about that after every game is the real rub. Talking about Nico is fun. It is a cheap dopamine hit, which immediately becomes kind of drab after a while. Because that's not why we watch basketball.
It's like cheap heat, to steal from our from wrestling lingo from the 90s.
Yeah. If you guys on the internet want to make Nico the chuckle fuck trend, that's absolutely something you should do. I support it. We'll lead that charge, but I'm not going to lead our podcasting stuff about that all the time, even though I've now just talked about them for 5 solid minutes.
Yeah. Go ahead.
I don't know where I was going. I'm just rambling.
I don't know. I think it's if I were in charge of the Mavericks, obviously I'm not, but if I were in charge, the first thing I would do, and I would have done this after the New Orleans game, but I would call Anthony Davis, I would call Rich Paul, get a meeting, and then I would schedule a separate meeting with Clay and his representation. I'd go to both of them. I would say, where do you want to go? Where do you want to be? And then you can be there. If you want to stay here, okay. But like, you want to go somewhere else? Let's get you there. Give me a list. We'll eat it on the trades. Doesn't matter if we don't get the value that we need. Let's do right by you guys. Let's get you out of here. And we're like reset around Cooper Flag like that. They have to reset around Cooper Flag. That's the only thing like that. The only thing that concerns me about the future of this team, besides the fact that like they're bad and they don't have control of their draft picks after this season, is like if this kind of delusion that they think that they can be a championship contender right now, like what does that do to Cooper Flag? Like if they are hell-bent, if Nico is hell-bent on trying to prove his point of this team being a championship contender, like now you're potentially throwing like 3 to 4 years of Cooper Flag away, trying to smash this square peg into a round hole to do something that it's never going to be. So that would be like my big concern right now. I guess that would be the one thing, Kirk, you talk about. Like I tried to rebuttal with like, well, what does firing Nico do? I mean, if they could get an organizational shift and change the direction and the expectations of where the team needs to go going forward, that actually would matter a lot. Even if the team would still stink, they probably need that reset of expectations and direction more than anything.
Well, it's just so amazing because one of the things about sports is that everything is just so forward facing. So you can see mistakes as they happen. And if you call them out loud enough, it becomes really obvious. And then after the fact, it's like, well, how did they let that happen? And I think that's probably the most annoying part about being a fan and a part of a team of folks that cover the Mavericks is like, we're staring at the meteor coming to Earth. And what will happen is we will continually get a stream of quotes along the lines of what you're seeing isn't what's happening. And honestly, that's been the case the whole time I've covered the Mavs. Like they've been like this the whole time. Even in 2020, when like Luka turned into basketball god in the 2019-20 season, that 2019 offseason, we had people within the organization telling us, oh no, they had a fine offseason. You guys are always wrong. And it's like, no, we're not. The thing about being right about this is it's just not that hard. Like saying that you need guards to play basketball is not this complex take that I should or anyone else should get a medal for. It's just normal. So what we're watching this team slowly like drive itself into the iceberg as there's just an insistence that's like, okay, we're gonna continue to make this work. And the point about Flag and his rookie contract is extraordinarily important. You build teams now that matter through the draft. That is the paradigm. You do not build them through free agency. The Mavericks were trying to buck that trend with Luka Doncic in the previous group. They might have had something. We'll never know. They got to the finals. But the teams that keep winning the finals recently, the past two teams, and really the third team, if you want to consider the Warriors as well, built through the draft. The draft is what matters. We have Cooper Flag now. That's what matters. You go on from the draft, and you might not win because, frankly, the draft is a crapshoot. You have to both build through the draft and get lucky through the draft. Those are two incredibly important distinctions. Like the Thunder rigged the system because they cheated and essentially sat SGA out for 2 solid seasons. And they won because they got Chet. Chet was like that second to last piece, and they got lucky with Jalen Williams as well. It's better to be lucky than good. I'm not the Mavericks lucked into the number 1 draft pick. Like I have no, this is all, it's sports. It's not more morality. So I just, it's so annoying to say this is the obvious path and then they're just not going to do it. So I don't know.
Yeah. Well said. I don't know what else to say. I feel like we've already wasted.
How's Cooper tonight?
Energy. Kind of back. He was okay. I mean, he had 10 shot attempts. Defensively didn't make as big an impact as I thought he did in the previous game.
Okay.
I would have liked to see, him get some more shots. I mean, he was 5 of 10 from the floor, which was good. I like the shots that he took. He didn't really force anything. But yeah, they got to start. And I would rather. I mean, this is fine. Like, I think I would rather him have a game like this than a game where he shoots like 5 of 23 because he's running like 18 pick and rolls.
Sure.
So like this is fine. Like he seemed fine. But again, like just the starting lineup was just so bad. Like they got run off the floor so quickly. Like, and then Kidd played for pretty much the middle of the third quarter to the end of the game. I mean, he pretty much just played the backups because the backups were playing hard and Memphis had, quit trying because they had the game sealed up. I will say before we leave, Cisse was awesome, and I would start Cisse tomorrow night and play him 40 minutes and see what happens. 40 minutes or he fouls out, whichever comes first.
Love that. This has been a place you've been on since like the second preseason game.
I fucking love Cisse. Sign him to a max deal after this summer. Like, he's awesome.
It's great.
My favorite
really
player.
Good. I like that.
Get a Cisse jersey.
Did you watch? Did you happen to pay any attention to Cedric Howard from the Grizzlies?
Dude, so I didn't know that was like, I was watching the game and I kept forgetting that was him.
Mm-hmm.
I thought he was like a raw defense first player coming out of the draft because I didn't want, I don't watch college ball and I don't know enough about the draft.
Right.
So I thought he was just going to be one of those guys like, who's the guy from Detroit? Holland? Mm-hmm. Like just some guy that is supremely talented athletically and defensively, like awesome and just has a lot of work on offense.
Yeah.
When I'm watching this game, and maybe I'm wrong, maybe I got him confused with another draft prospect, but like dude was balling, like making shots and stuff. Like, is that am I wrong? Is he actually a good offensive player?
I don't know enough. And that's the best part about winning the number one overall pick in the lottery is we immediately stopped having to know things. Like, do you remember? Like, we were pretty psyched, but not like psyched. But it's like when the Mavs were in the lottery, the whole Mavs Moneyball plan was like, "This is what we're gonna do. We're gonna roll out all this stuff." We had like 50 articles planned, and then the Mavericks won the lottery, and it just dumped everything on its head. It's like, well, shit. I mean, not in a bad way, but it's like obviously we're happy to get flagged, but we didn't have to learn about any of these guys. And it's been an education, and it's quite the draft class through these several games. I mean, Trey Johnson smoked the Mavs. What's his name from Memphis? Played real well against the Mavs. This guy, Cedric Howard, beat like it's you like to see that the NBA is in good hands when you're not really pissed at your own franchise. So. Okay, I think that's good enough for government work, as my father would always say. Let's cut out. You go do other stuff. Hopefully go to bed. I'm going to host a group therapy. I'm going to post that in the show notes now. We're going to then cut for a quick break. Stick around if you're here in the live show. Everybody that's watching, just know that you can look for that a little earlier in the afternoon. Josh and I'll be back tomorrow night, assuming I don't die tomorrow morning as I am running a hot dog 5K, which I think I either have to eat a hot dog every kilometer or every mile. And a 5K is like 3.2 miles, something like that. Yeah. So
just walk it. Don't overdo it.
I can't help but overdo it. It is my existence to be a dumbass.
I've never really done a 5K, and I did one last year. And I walked and I just walked it because it was a charity event, and
that's what this is.
So like there's no shame. A lot of people walk it, like people have like parents take their kids in strollers and stuff, like just enjoy it. Don't kill yourself, please.
Well, the funny part was like my wife is like, you're absolutely doing this, which she normally hates when I do like she just thinks it's going to be funny because I think she wants to see if I'll throw up hot dogs. Okay, so we'll be right back. Everybody be good who's listening. Thank you so much for paying attention to our show, and go Mavs. Good evening. Welcome to Pod Mavericks Group Therapy. This is Kirk Henderson of Pod Maverick. You are joining our preposterous live show that you can help run. There's a link in the YouTube notes, which should be pinned now to a StreamYard link, and that lets you join the show here. We can talk about the Mavericks. We can talk about kind of anything you want. I, for example, was considering leading off the show reading Jimmy Carter's Crisis of Conscience. Is that Crisis of Confidence speech that he gave in the 70s? That was really fucking depressing, because that's sort of the nature of the Mavericks right now. I got one guy waiting to come on. It's my man Tyler. Anybody else that's welcome to. You just click that link. You got your phone, you got your computer, whatever you want to do. Come get your takes off. We'll hang out for a little bit, and then we'll go to bed because the Mavericks play tomorrow. Tyler, what's happening?
What's up, Kirk? How's it going?
I watched 3 really good football games, so
I took my mom out for her birthday, so I at least got that going for me. Some good brownie points.
I watched my child grab a couple of interceptions playing football.
I was about to ask what the stat line was. How'd we play?
It's fun. You would have gotten a kick out of it as a football guy, because he had to play free safety for the first time, and he kept creeping up. And it's like he got burned over the top like 3 times, but he's fast enough to where he chases guys down. But then I just told him at one point, I was like, dude, stand there. Trust me, stand there. I was like, don't move. Chop your feet. And then when the ball's thrown, that's when you move. And then he gets an interception. And it's just because it's children. They're playing football. It's a riot.
Of course.
But I was following the game on my phone, and it's just, I don't want the Mavericks to lose, man. But if they're going to losing in horrifying ways is really funny. It's really funny.
There's no way you could possibly sugarcoat what's happened, which is probably the best thing for the franchise moving forward. There's no writing it off. Because
have we seen
that they
bad
have,
quotes yet? What's going on with the post game? Do we know anything?
has he even talked yet?
I don't know. I'm looking through the raw. It's hard. I'm always doing 9 or 12 things in a row, so it's kind of hard for me to pay. I just miss whole things. But I think our chat would have shown something. It looks like wonder if we're getting a team meeting.
I was about to say players only meeting.
We haven't.
Even then, Kid would have talked.
Yeah, well, Kid isn't the kind of guy to raise his voice. He's just in there probably being like, "I'm a psychopath."
Yeah, pretty much.
So.
Hey, anytime you want to talk college ball, I mean, this freshman class.
Woo! Okay, tell me about the game you watched tonight. Let's talk about that instead for a little bit.
So, North Carolina hosted Kansas, which is, as you know, you've read our draft select. Darren Peterson, stud guard at Kansas. There was a great SI feature on him earlier this week, where basically a bunch of NBA personnel could do it. So like, yeah, he could have played in the league last year.
Yep.
And he's done nothing but impress thus far this year. I know it's limited sample size, but he just does 20 to 25 points a game, handful of rebounds, handful of assists. And tonight was interesting because it was his first true road environment that he's been in. Finally, an on-campus, out-of-conference game. So Kansas goes to North Carolina and kind of got run off the floor in the second half, which was impressive because I didn't think much of this Carolina team. And but they have a freshman, Caleb Wilson. He's a wing type. He's a rangy wing. But he had 5 stars by his name for a reason, too. He had 24, 7, and 4 tonight against a pretty good Kansas team.
How many minutes did he play? Do you remember?
I can pull that up real quick.
The minutes just sort of matter to me because it's in a contextual situation. Sometimes I forget, at least I do this. I don't know if you do this. I forget that it's a 40-minute game with 5 fouls. So it's sometimes the context is enough. Like when what's his name from Arizona the other night had that sort of 18, 5, and 5 first half. It was like, holy shit.
Yeah, Koa Pete,
yeah.
Yeah. So Darren Peterson had 22, 3, and 3 with 3 stocks in 28 minutes.
Okay.
And Caleb Wilson had 24, 7, and 4 with 4 steals in 31 minutes.
It's pretty good.
This freshman class, I don't mean to be over the top about it.
Oh, why not?
It's probably the best freshman class as a whole that we've seen in definitely this decade and probably even before that.
Okay. So is that just because of sheer depth?
Yes. So when you look at it, I think the projected top 9 to 10 guys this year are just going to be freshmen.
Okay.
And you've got you've got the Boozer, obviously, at Duke, Cam Boozer, who didn't play great against Texas, but the second half they did some things, got him downhill, and you could kind of see the vision. And
Okay.
And beyond that, like Darren Peterson, we've talked a lot about Michael Brown. He's not going to be a top 3 pick, but if you watch, he was a stud at Team USA stuff. So if you believe in kind of international ball and how that translates to the league, he's the guy I have my eye on. Especially.
Okay.
And I'm a sucker for college ball. Don't get me wrong. So, but I was impressed with Caleb Wilson because I thought he was a tier below some of those guys. And tonight he played every bit on that tier. He was really impressive.
That's good to hear. All right. Sorry. I had 2. You were talking to me out of both. I actually had the YouTube up and you were talking to me twice and it really threw me for a loop for about 10 seconds. Okay. So understanding that, what is the sales pitch for Kansas guy? Like if you're a Mavericks fan and you want to get thirsty right now, what's the sales pitch?
You need a guard and he's the best guard available in the draft, period.
Yep. Okay.
He's going to get better at playmaking too. Right now, he's more of a scoring type. You can see the vision. He has the eye for the court. Kansas is going to let him grow into that over this year. They're going to because they don't have the playmaking otherwise. And that was why kind of North Carolina, once the Avalanche started tonight, they just couldn't pull out of it. And once Peterson gets a little seasoning to him, you'll see it. And he's going to develop into that guy.
Okay.
But,
Look, so let's address this. Let's address this. This is a really fun one from Rolex 77. I thought Cooper was generational. And so that's let's just frame that in the form of a question. If you've watched Cooper so far, explain to Rolex 77 here, because it's a good question.
Mm-hmm.
Why you still think he is the tits?
Because anytime you've watched Cooper throughout his career, this is going back to the main days.
Okay.
He is an elite problem solver.
Okay.
It's not something that you'll necessarily see even box score wise right off the bat. And in fairness to Cooper as well, he started every season. He started Duke last year. He started really slow.
Yes.
He started his senior year at Montverde. He was pretty slow, but he gets a feel for it. And then it just hits.
Okay.
Like Duke last year, his first 10 games, he was slashing like mid 40s from the floor, high 20s from 3. His next 3 games, he averaged like 24 points a game on 50, 40, 90.
Okay.
Like he just kind of grows into this. So what you're seeing right now from Cooper, and it's a really high floor because you see the defense, you see the athleticism.
I don't think people are seeing the defense. That's what because I talked about him for a real long time in the sense of he was always a generational defensive prospect,
yes.
But a generational defensive guy who is playing out of position on a team that doesn't seem to have any coherent defensive principles is very hard to figure out. Like it doesn't feel like he's doing anything. And this is just from my watching. And I've watched more of him than I think. Let's just use Rolex as an example. I appreciate the comics. It's a really good one that I think it's worth answering.
And the Cooper out of position of it all is going to suck this year. It's going to be so good for him in the long run.
I don't know if I agree. I just don't, because it's like the
problem
solving he's being asked to do right now is he's being asked to fix the roster through his play. That's not fucking happening.
True.
Do you know what I mean?
Yeah, I agree. And that's why they need another guard desperately.
Okay. Yeah.
And look, I think if you're underwhelmed with Cooper, I think your expectations were probably too high.
I don't know. We're probably like generational is a consideration. Now, that's where I think we have to consider the context and what he's being asked to do. Like he never played point guard before. So that's why I have a little bit of a problem with the like let's have him play point guard like 60% of the time, which is literally what the numbers say he's been asked to do. Yes. There was a play. He got a steal along the right wing, left wing for the offense, right wing for him because he got it with his right hand last night or Wednesday against Pelicans. Mm-hmm. And he Trey Murphy was the closest guy to him, and Trey Murphy tried to cut him off, and Cooper accelerated and changed speed and changed of directions like 3 times over the course of his maybe 4 dribbles to get from one end of the court and the other. He is an open court player along the lines of I kind of feel like a LeBron and some of these other truly like open court monsters. Giannis. Okay.
Yeah.
If you don't like LeBron, like Giannis may be a better comp but he's smaller. And he made he crossed over to his left hand and finished with this like beautiful slow down floater over the top where it's like, I'm sorry guys, he should be in college right now. That's really where it comes from.
Reclassified. He should be a freshman.
Yes, he is. He will turn 19 in a month.
Yes.
Like a month and 2 weeks. Like this is so that's where it's like if I'm tampering my expectations, it's more because of where he could be. Because I think like the elite problem solving becomes it starts to show itself, but the Mavericks problems are not things that he can solve for, is I guess
Correct.
where I come back to.
Correct. And it's not any fault of his, like we've already kind of said. I mean, he's being asked to fix an impossible thing. I think was it you who said that if D'Angelo Russell's the answer, then it's a bad question?
Yeah.
Like that's where we're at with this roster right now. So you get him some playmaking, you get him some 3-and-D and just make the roster fit a little bit better, then you can start to have him problem solve. But right now, I mean, it's just
he's getting the ball. This handoff offense nonsense. He's getting the ball with 7 seconds on the shot clock where Luka would get the ball.
Yeah.
He is not a Luka style offensive creator.
No.
And he's never gonna be.
Correct.
He's a different kind of player. I think he will be a pretty good play initiator. And you know, him and Lively seem to have some real juice when they play together, and the Mavericks just weren't able to do it. And I'm interested to see what happens with Lively as a play finisher with him. But I also want to see him finish plays. And there's just no one on the team that can get him the ball. Because they choose to run Gafford with D'Angelo Russell.
Mm-hmm.
So that's a real frustrating element for me. So Rolex, I hope we sort of answered your question in that for me, I don't know if we're going to see anything generational this year. I just don't. But I trust the process of him and seeing what he has become. Like he got better from summer league to the first game of the regular season. Like that shit's crazy to me.
Imagine what it looks like in 6 months.
I hope. So, but it's like it's just, this all feels gross.
It's terrible, but kind of to revisit the generational thing, it's going to generate. I think he is generational, but it's going to look different than what people think because he's not going to go average 30, right? He's going to be a guy probably 23 to 25 points a game, and he's going to give you 8 and 5 if things go well. Like that's plenty generational enough. That's a top like 1% outcome for a draft pick, right? And it's not going to look like Luka did. It's not going to look like LeBron. It's fine. That doesn't mean he's not generational. Just means he goes about it a different way.
Yeah.
And I think we'll get there. The roster just doesn't fit around him. And look, shit's hitting the fan real quick right now. But
I mean, this is how bad it is because shout out to the Twitter user who posted who talked. So this is who talked after the game: Jason Kidd, Max Christie, and Cisse. Cisse is a two-way player. Yeah. That's not an insult. I'm not insulting him, but if you're tossing out two-way players, that means all the veterans are like, nope, not doing this tonight. Fuck off.
Max Christie is our crisis PR management team. I feel bad for the guy,
okay,
man.
So before I let you go, because we got Leo waiting, but this is a good conversation. Is there you often? I don't like pressing you for articles because you read a ton for Mavs Moneyball, so I don't want you to do any more than you're happy with. But I would be interesting to know what other college games you are interested in over the next couple of, like, let's just say the next week.
Yeah, so I kind of did this last week on Mavs Moneyball. Go read the article. Tomorrow is going to be a fun slate of games. You've got Alabama at St. John's early.
Okay.
Alabama's got LeBaron Philon.
Yeah. People liked him last year heading into the draft before he pulled out.
Myself and Brian's pet cat, essentially. We love that kid. He's going to be a good player. Go watch him play. Alabama runs fun. That game especially, good clash of styles because Bama wants to run. St. John's with Patino, they want to slow it down and grind you out. It's going to be a fun game to watch. Okay. St. John's has a kid as well. Zuby Ejiofor and then Ian Jackson are the two players to watch there. And then one other one tomorrow, Arkansas and Michigan State. Michigan State, your brand name there. Arkansas with Calipari. Arkansas is a freshman, Darius Acuff. I'm interested to see what he looks like. He was pretty highly touted as well.
Sure.
And then this isn't a vintage Michigan State team. They do have so Jeremiah Fears' brother, Jeremy Fears, is
Jeremiah.
Yes.
That's something.
So Jeremiah is like Jeremy, but not as Jeremy is like Jeremiah in that he's a small guard, but he's not quite the athlete and doesn't have near the amount of juice. But
Okay. Fears looked fun the other night, man.
Fears was very impressive the other night. And then Cohen Carr is kind of he's a freak athlete on Michigan State, but I'm not convinced he knows how to play basketball. So
sure.
Those are your two. And then Iowa State on Monday. Watch Iowa State play ball.
I don't know if I can ever watch Iowa anything.
Oh, you'll like this. So Mississippi State has 4 dudes who played Texas high school basketball.
Ooh. You know I like my Texas high school basketball guys.
They do. I think one of them went to prep school in 3 State. So
yes. All right, man. You're the best. Thanks for hanging out.
Appreciate it, Kirk. Glad I could pop on.
Oh yeah. Talk soon.
You bet.
All right, Mike. All right. Before I bring Leo up, gonna insert some ads. That's the best way to support us other than giving them that link that's in the comments. So coming up next is my man Leo, but we'll be right back after I put in these ads. Leo, let's go.
Hi.
What's up?
Do you mind not talking about the game?
I mean, did you just hear Tyler and I? We were talking about other college games. We can talk about whatever the hell you want.
This is more of like.
You want to talk about Avatar: The Last Airbender? My son and I have 6 episodes left. We can talk about that for a while.
What's his favorite character?
I don't know. I think that they're like he's 9, so like some of the like the light romance stuff I think makes him uncomfortable.
Aww.
But it's great. We're having a great time. I mean the best character is clearly Uncle by a country.
Oh, you
mile.
like Iroh. You
Yeah.
like Iroh. Okay.
I relate to him, an old person that no one listens to.
You should show him. There's a fighting game that's coming out next year. It's in the same art style of the original series, and it's all hand animation drawn.
Ooh.
It should be cheap. I'm praying.
This is what I'm hearing. All right, well, talk to me about this game. What are you thinking?
Well,
this game, whatever else you wanted to talk about. Sorry.
Well, let's say in a hypothetical universe, they trade AD, they send Clay off. Do you want to keep PJ for the future?
Yes.
Or
I like
Okay.
PJ. I think PJ's a good. PJ's the best all-around player the Mavericks have right now.
Okay.
So but I am of the opinion that you do right by players in the best way you can. So if there's a situation that he wants to go to, for example, why not? Like the Mavericks are so asset starved. Like they have no second round picks. Did you know that? Like second round picks are neither here nor there. It's not like you're getting starters out of second round picks unless you're lucky.
I mean, JB.
Yeah, no, I mean like there's the
Yeah.
occasional ones that definitely matter. You're right about that. But it's like by and large, second round players are a tougher sell. So I don't necessarily want them for the picks, but it's like I want them for assets. Then you got 2027, top 2 that goes to Charlotte. 2028, it's a swap with Oklahoma City. 2029, we sent out, but now we own the Lakers pick, which is at least interesting. 2030 is a swap with the Spurs.
Yeah.
So it's just like it's not that we're getting nothing. It's just the control of the assets is extraordinarily limited. So it's like that's why I'm just like sell whatever, get what you can, start over, then do your best.
And what I was thinking as you guys were talking about guards in this upcoming draft, would you personally think for the development of Cooper, just for the development of the team going forward, would you rather have a guard that can already score and has the bones of what could be a good playmaker, or just take an honest to God point guard that can kind of score?
Ooh, that's a good question. I think so many guards come into the NBA now with scoring mindsets. I think passing, it's not necessarily secondary, but the skill basis for so many of these guys is the ability is to play just how so many of the good guards that we've seen over the years that have come through, you don't want to say like play like Dallas or play like Luka or play like Cade Cunningham, but that's really how a lot of guys are taught to play. It's running an offense is I want to say there's a guy and maybe my guy David in the chat can correct me. I feel like there's a guy at Louisville that's like a real point guard, but there's not like point guard in the sense of like, oh, I'm going to run your offense, score 12 points a game and rack up 10 assists. Like, I just don't know if those guards truly exist anymore. So I just think you take whoever you think is best, like I don't know enough at this point to say that I want to like stake my claim to a particular person. I've done that before. You've listened to the show for a while, but yeah, Mikhail Brown. That's what I was thinking of. So it's like I'm too early in my process right now to be married to anything. They will use their pick this year because I don't think they can trade it away. So at least we got that going for us.
And then just as a final note, even though he is my son, with the amount of games that Derek Lively's played, are you hesitant at all keeping him? Or
I mean, I like him a great deal, but the greatest ability is availability, and he's got to play like 30 games in a row. Like, this is getting stupid. Like, I'm sorry, a knee bruise, missing like 6 games for a knee bruise. Either something's worse than they told us, or it's like, I don't know. I hate to be that guy. It just, I like Lively.
What my brain goes to with a lot of these injuries is he never got Casey, right? Like Casey was fired the year,
right?
Like,
but it's
the summer
also
we drafted him.
I mean, certain guys just are prone to injury. Like, I wouldn't it's not fair to call Kyrie Irving an injury prone player, but then you go look at the kind of injuries he's had.
He has freak accidents.
And that's sort of how I feel about Lively. Like, all of Lively's stuff so far is weird, but 16 weird things at a certain point is a trend.
And he's a big, tall, lanky player with not much mass, and that's scary.
We'll see. I don't know. Like, I'm pretty, as I understand it, he got hit in the side of the knee.
Oh,
like, that shit hurts. I've had that happen. I can't imagine on an NBA level how that would feel with like another huge person. So that's my answer as far as I can give it to you.
All right. Thank you. All right. Hope everyone has a good night.
Later, buddy. Talk to you soon. We're gonna have to bring him up soon, but Reed LaFriendship is a top tier username to be joining. All right, my old buddy Tyron. What's going on, dude?
Hey, not much. Can you hear me okay?
I can't.
All right. You know me, I'm always pretty optimistic about the team from year to year through the ups and downs, but I think my optimism is gone and it's really starting to sink in now. I'm done. Just taking it back to the trade, right?
Sure.
The fact that, and this is no slight to Anthony Davis whatsoever, but when you have an asset and a Luka Doncic and you don't even shop him around.
Sure.
And so what I find myself doing now is just watching other teams play and just thinking like, God, we could have had this team superstar, right? And there's one superstar in particular I feel like we could have had twice last year, and we missed on both opportunities. And Giannis Antetokounmpo twice, right? This guy's been wanting to get out of Milwaukee for years now, and he even said verbatim he wants to come and play somewhere that doesn't do was it state taxes or property taxes, whatever. Come on, who's his previous coach in Milwaukee? Who made him?
Well, they're winning up there, so
and I mean, right. But if the guy wants out, your thing the last couple weeks, I haven't been popping in on the chat, but I do listen. Your thing is that do right by your players. This guy wants to leave. He's been wanting to leave, and Nico missed that. Instead, we go get an old hobbled shell of himself, Anthony Davis. And we're stuck with this in this bad contract, and now the fan base, rightfully so, is saying, hey, we're the chance we're moving off this. We're not moving off this contract. We're stuck with them. Like, I'm sorry, guys. Like, nobody wants this guy. I'm sorry.
I think they'll be able to move him. I do.
But for what though?
But at that point, I'm not sure. Like, I was talking about this with another eternal optimist in Dalton Trigg, and he's just like, anything is better than nothing, even if they have to sell low, kind of like they did on KP. And I am there now. I don't think that's what'll actually happen because Anthony Davis gets a lot of positive PR. He just does.
He's a great guy. I love watching his press conferences. I like watching his off the court stuff. I get it.
But also like his play, his peaks of play are simply like it's undeniable how good he is capable of being for stretches. And so I think that sort of thing is just enough to be able to matter. I also think that Rich Paul will insist on moving him. That's what I actually think is Rich Paul will push this because Anthony Davis, there's a lot of stuff out there about how, yeah, he might have signed off on this. Yeah, no, he didn't.
Yeah.
He did not. And I think he doesn't like being the butt of this situation, and it's not his fault. Also, and this is the basketball side of me, he's playing the position I want to see Cooper Flag play. Like, I know Flag kind of wants to be a small forward, but right now I want him to play power forward. I want to see him and Lively and PJ. PJ and him can rotate in and out of that 3-4 spot for all I care. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah. Oh man, don't get me started on Lively. Oh man. I'm. You know what? I'll save that for another show. I'm not even gonna go there with Lively right now. Back. Gosh, man, this team and what are we doing? At this point, and I mean, I've been a Mavericks fan. I'm 35. I've been a Mavericks fan since I can legit remember. I remember going to games at the Reunion Arena with my dad. I remember the green jersey. I remember all that stuff, but gosh, man, this is
Not great.
bad. This is
It's not
bad,
good.
man. It's getting to the point now where my 10-year-old said, "Dad, why don't they just go ahead and trade for John Morant? He's not happy." I'm like, dude, you know what? No, we're not doing that.
How funny was that tonight? Morant didn't even have that good a game, and the Grizzlies boat raced us.
Yeah, but they made him look like an all-star. You know what I mean? It's crazy. At this point, seriously, blow it up.
Yep.
Just blow it up. Like I said, I think they miffed on getting quality players throughout the years it's almost like they're name chasing at this point. Hey, look at us. We got, Anthony Davis. Great, but he doesn't play. You know what I mean? Like that's cool. Hey, we got D'Angelo Russell.
Yes.
He won a championship, with the Lakers back during the bubble. Like, great, but I don't even know what you want to call him. You know what I mean? Hey, but we got Klay Thompson. Klay Thompson, fuck, man. Like, it's like we're just name chasing. And at this point, man, and the Mavericks have been doing this. This isn't the first season the Mavericks have been, like I said, name chasing. But like, it's just gotten to a point now where it's just like, man, just blow it up.
Well, have you seen? So I know you consume a fair amount of stuff. Have you seen sort of the soft launch of the Klay Thompson wants out stuff?
Yeah, I saw that on Instagram this morning.
Yep. And that's real. That's real. That's not just like the San Francisco. A couple San Francisco papers started pushing it.
Yeah,
it's incredible.
And I thought about that when I saw it. Honestly, for Klay, I don't think. I mean, obviously, he's not, the Klay Thompson that he used to be. But is he completely out of gas? I personally don't think so.
No,
I think that he's put in the
spot.
absolute worst situation with this team. It doesn't, cater to his game whatsoever. Because every time I see Klay Thompson dribble the ball, I want to throw something at the TV.
Yeah.
But, and it's not his fault, but whenever he does get a chance to square up and do Klay Thompson things, I mean, he looks like the Klay Thompson of old. So I hope that, the Mavericks do the right thing, which they probably won't because we're talking about the Mavericks organization.
I'm not sure. Like, Nico seems to think people like him. I don't really understand why. Like it should have been an alarm bell when Mark Cuban was like, this guy is well liked by players. And it's like, well, what's the evidence of that? Like
Kyrie liked him. We haven't heard shit from Kyrie.
Right. Like the funniest part about Kyrie is that he seems to like genuinely want to like everyone.
Yeah.
Like, he's just like an affable person.
Yeah.
It's like, oh well, like the Mavericks won't, or if the Mavericks do something with Nico, maybe Kyrie won't be happy. And I'm like, look, maybe all the Kyrie super fans out there like to kind of make the argument that he didn't like playing with Luka. I'm sure Tim Hardaway made the case that playing with Luka is pretty difficult at times. But you know what people really like? Winning.
Yeah.
So at a certain point, it's like, am I going to win with this guy, or am I going to? Is he difficult to play with? Do I want the ball in better situations? Yes, but then does he? And so it's just, I'm not it's also silly, man. Like we really had something. And like, what's so crazy to me is that like Nico is an all-in gambler and he had gotten so lucky. And you know what? I lucked maybe not all of it. Like the Kyrie gamble is a seeing around corners kind of thing because Kyrie is lowest and they got him at a good price. Affordable price in hindsight, really for me. And I remember really not liking that trade and I was wrong and I have said so. But then you go try to get Kuzma and then you try to, and that like, whoa, you want to talk about a franchise ender? If Kuzma, we'd be talking like if that had happened, we'd be talking right now instead about what do the Mavericks need? Like, where can we send Luka? That's where it'd be. Like, because the team would be unplayable.
Yeah, you're talking about gambling. Listen, brother, I can't tell you a slot machine from a roulette wheel, but we crapped out. We're done. I don't. And the thing is, with the upcoming years, we don't have any draft picks. Like, Clay wants to leave. It's just a matter of time before people are going to want, out of here.
Yeah.
Because the vibes are horrible right now. What are we going to do for the next couple of years? Like, how do you go from being the Western Conference champion to this overnight?
Well, I mean,
man?
you
Like,
see it in football and you can see it in basketball at times. Like a draft pick can change the course of things.
Yeah.
You get medium lucky late. Like Chet, for example, is probably my favorite one in that. Yeah, he went second to Paolo, and he's turned in that guy's turned into a much better player than I ever would have anticipated. He just has. And it's you just need to be lucky. And the Mavericks historically have been pretty lucky the past 25 years or more or less. So I don't know. That's where
out, man.
It certainly feels that way because it's been a vibe shift. Well, Tyron, you got anything else for us?
Nah, man. I'm like, today is for all my game nerds out there. Today is N7 day for all my old Mass Effect fans. So
okay, I got pinged by that like 9 times, and I just haven't had a chance to look into it.
Oh yeah.
It was the Amazon show. Somebody, my guy Richard Dalton, who always tweets at me, said he's like, this looks promising about the Amazon show. So I can get behind this.
That's good because any Mass Effect fan, we've been waiting for anything for the last 20 years. So that's great. That's good news.
Good stuff. All right, man.
All right.
We'll talk soon, okay?
All right, man. Have a good night.
All right. We love some Mass Effect talk. Rafe LaFriendship, welcome to the show. How are you?
All right. What's up, Kirk? Can you hear me?
I can. Thanks for joining.
Man, thanks for having me. Whew. Well, how are you?
I didn't have to watch it tonight. So
okay.
I was at my kids' football games and I was following by phone.
Yeah.
And I when my kids' sports teams, when people sort of find out that I do this, I end up talking Mavericks with a lot of like more casual Mavs fans, and like people just were like, "What do you mean the Mavericks aren't going to be good this year?" Because I'd sort of been like the Mavericks are going to be a 500 team. That was where which I don't think is like bad, but it's like I guess bad when you have championship expectations. This is worse,
dude. We've been nuked. That was February 1st, 2025. That was a nuclear bomb by a team on its own fan base. One thing that I have found comforting is the fact that all of us who followed the team were proven correct. We're like, no, Luka's actually one of the 3 best players on planet Earth. He's not the problem. We were just at the precipice of winning the whole thing, and now we're going to be a bottom team. And here we are, 9 months later. And it's like all the national pundits are like, it was just a poorly constructed trade from the beginning. It's like, yeah, right. So it's our indignation is like righteous.
When people are starting to fill in, like over the last 9 months, a lot of I guess it's been 9 months. A lot of people are starting to fill in gaps with conspiracy theory ideas, and I'm just that bothers me because it really is like Nico Harrison is such an arrogant asshole where he's like, I did this because I don't think Luka is very good. Is basically what he did, and everyone's like, well. What if he was forced to by the Adelsons? And it's like, shut up. He doesn't like Nico. Or, I'm sorry, he doesn't like Luka. And it's like, there's a litany of reasons as to why. Like he found reasons not to like Luka. It's okay.
the fact that these conspiracy theories sound more plausible than the basketball reasons only lends them more credence. I found myself, dude. So, okay. So I think we're of a similar age and generation. So I'm 40.
Mhm.
You know, I'm 14 when they draft Dirk. 13 was 98, whatever. My formative years are spent heavily invested into this organic, out of the depths of absurdly bad, franchisedom. Suddenly we're like, it's for 25 years, it's been
Mhm.
a special thing. Okay. Now, I also happen to live in Los Angeles. Okay.
I'm
I
very
grew up in
sorry.
I grew up in Plano. I now
Okay.
live in El Segundo, California.
Okay.
I drive past the Lakers practice facility on the way to drop off my kid at school. Okay. Luca just bought Maria Sharapova's house in Manhattan Beach. I work around the corner. Okay. I could not be more in the crosshairs of this Laker Maverick dimension here where, dude, I'm gonna run into him at some point, just like in the wild. Okay.
Mhm.
I'm the only Maverick in my Maverick fan in a 10-mile radius of where I live, dude. I'm in the heart of Laker territory.
I was out there. I went to Pepperdine 02 to 06. So I was there when
Yeah,
Kobe scored 81 points. And like I remember
yeah.
where I was standing on campus when somebody told me. And then when he scored what was 63 against the Mavericks in 3 quarters. And I was
Mhm.
just like, yeah, no. It was a horrible time to be a Mavs fan.
Well, I had the pleasure of being in LA when we swept their asses out in 11. And they were coming off
This
2
is your
titles.
penance. This is your penance. You now have to deal with this. The question is, was it worth it? It's a tough one. I think
Well,
I think the answer might be yes for those of
my
a certain age.
yes, it is, man. My favorite player now plays down the street from where I live. I told him, like, I'm like you. I saw your video about having your kid being such a
Mhm.
Luca fan and being same thing. I got a 6-year-old daughter. She
Yep.
she's just 6-year-old girl, and she's like, I love Luca. I then told her, I was like, well, he's not on the team anymore. She goes, well, where does he play? And I'm like, well, he plays here. And she goes, okay. She's just like totally fine. And it's the opportunity to switch fandom,
Mhm.
which I would not begrudge anyone.
Right.
Again,
Yeah.
we're all like victims of a nuclear blast, dude.
Sure.
Like, and I just can't get there, man. The reason is the level of give a shit that we have as a fan base. It's we care about every game. I've been around in LA when it's like, the Lakers are in the playoffs. What are we, the 7th seed? It's like, if the Mavericks, like, I would have followed every game to make sure that we were the 7th seed. It's a
Right.
different it's a different angle that we Mavs fans have.
Sure.
And so I I it doesn't feel good, this thing that we're going through.
It does
I
not.
I think nothing changes until Nico gets fired. I don't think Nico gets fired until Kyrie comes back. I think like his whole thing is like Kyrie AD. That was my plan, and Dumont's like lacks laissez-faire enough to grant that. Then again, we're 6 inches away from being 1-8. Is that right?
Yeah.
Is it?
Yeah.
Yeah.
No, if who was it? One of the Pacers players would have hit that shot. Oh my God.
Neesmith, yeah.
Neesmith, yeah. That's real bleak. Real bleak.
So I guess in a way I'm like slightly encouraged. It's like not only was he wrong, he was way wrong, and now like you could just see the wave of coverage on this team is like, holy crap, Nico was way wrong. And so I don't know, maybe that gets accelerated. In either case, it's crystallized what the hell needs to happen. And the only thing to remember is that this is happening to us, and we've seen the other side of it. We've seen like how good it feels when it actually comes down your way, having gone through all this crap. You know what I mean? It's like
Yep.
11 is better for having gone through 06. And so anyway, that's all. We're thinking of meta issues because the details of these basketball games are getting a little
Well, that's kind of Josh's deal. Like sometimes I joke where I'm like having a Josh, please don't quit. He's like,
Yeah,
what
right.
else are we going to talk about? You know?
Hey, can I actually say one thing about Josh? Love both you guys, by the way.
Yeah, he's great. Josh is the best.
He had a tick in last episode. He's like, we should just ask Clay where he wants to go. And then he was kind of like off the cuff. He's like, and also for that matter, AD, where does AD want to go?
Mm-hmm.
And I remember I spoke out loud against the podcast. I was like, hold on, hard disagree. Like, we need to ship AD to fucking Guangdong if it means like getting Cooper some help. I don't want to see us struggle through not having the assets to rebuild around Cooper like we had to watch through Luka.
Sure.
You know. Anyway, love you guys. Love the show. Thanks for the time, man.
Appreciate it, buddy. Talk soon.
All right.
Coming up next, we got MJ. MJ, welcome.
Hey, how's it going, man?
It's good. I'm tired, but I'm kicking. Let's do this. What are you thinking?
Well, I'll tell you, the thought just occurred to me. Okay, the way Luka played, it was kind of almost LeBron-like, heliocentric. And think about when LeBron left his teams, when he left Cleveland the first time. It was like a black hole. I mean, that team cratered without him.
Sure.
When he went to Miami, when he went from Miami back to Cleveland, Miami wasn't so good. So in my mind, Luka was such integral, like the main, point of this team that with him being gone. Now I know that they won games last year without him when he was injured, but that was faux play. I mean, that was a mirage. I'm thinking that we're now really seeing, the loss of him, and of course, obviously the inability to get, a coherent offense, and losing Sweeney is a big thing too for their defense. Because he's doing really good with San Antonio right now, San Antonio Spurs, and that's underrated, I think. But I'm just thinking that that's a big reason, and they're not going to recover. With Kyrie coming back, from.
Go ahead. Sorry, go ahead. You were in mid thought. I didn't mean to cut you off.
Well, especially with Kyrie coming back from injury, being over 30, AD being a pile of ass, I mean, and Lively not being able to stay on the floor. I see nothing but doom. I could be right. I think this team might be 2-17, not 2-7. They might lose 10 straight.
The Wizards one, it's the kind of precipice of the cliff. If you lose to the Wizards twice, like, it's so funny. There was Bobby Corrala of DLLS, formerly of the Dallas Mavericks, had this stat about offensive rating. It was like a relative offensive rating, and what the relative part was, it adjusted to era and pace and stuff like that. And through 8 games, the Mavericks had the worst relative offensive rating ever. Now, the funny part was there were 2 other teams on that list from this year, meaning that it was the Washington Wizards and the Indiana Pacers. So it's like if the Mavericks lose to the Pacers or to the Wizards twice, like big darkness. The Wizards have been horrible since they beat the Mavericks. So I think I earnestly don't think they lose. I really don't. Like,
I think they are. I think they're going to lose, man. I have no confidence in this team.
If they do, my goodness, like what is there to be said? I mean, it's so funny. Like, I'm watching like Ben Rogers turn on like of Ben and Skin, like basically saying like, what are we doing? And it's like, these are people that are, and I want to be polite because everybody, ever since I moved here, people have been a lot nicer to me than when I lived in Virginia. But it's like, there's a lot of people who have a vested interest in getting along with the Mavericks. So when you see people, and I don't have that interest because I just don't fucking care. It's not my job. I'm never going to make substantial money off of this. Like, media is not a stable environment. And so I when you see guys like this starting to turn, you have to wonder, like Tim Cowlishaw writing that article for Dallas Morning News is a big deal. Like, it's a big deal because it's like so far it's and even like I don't know if you listen to Locked On Mavs, but Nick and Isaac are just positive humans. And then they got slightly biased on there, and bias is just like, fuck this. This is
I love him, man. He is so cool. I love him. Hey, hear this out. Hear this theory. I know what you said about Nico, but okay, let me ask you this. I don't think Kid and Luca really had a good relationship. Do you agree with that?
I
That it
agree.
was kind of it was
So,
not was never good. Never good.
so Mark Cuban used Dirk Nowitzki to whitewash Jason Kidd. I think Luka respected Kidd because he respects history. I don't think he cared who coached him. And I think that,
Okay.
that when you read Tim McMahon's book, and you still should, like, the Mavericks built a culture of compliance around Luka, which was so stupid. Luka
Yeah.
is a psychotic competitor who wants to be challenged. And they built this whole culture of practice where it's like, oh, we'd find ways to challenge him all the time. Off the court, they did stuff like bring in there was like sweet tea in the locker room. And it's like, what are you doing? Don't feed him to his habits. You need to challenge him. And like, that's what I don't like. And so it's anyway, that the answer to your question is, I think they had a passing relationship. I also know that they don't have a relationship now. Like, watch for the Lakers game. He has blown Kid off 3 times because he believes Kid was in on it. And
yes, I think so. And I think so too, because think about this. I realized this. Their Kid got an extension for what, 4 years,
Oh,
3, 4
that's because
years?
Kid wanted to go to New York, and he basically leveraged the Mavericks against themselves. The Mavericks didn't have to do that.
Oh, you think
he basically was like, Jason Kidd, and I can't prove this, but this is what happened. Jason Kidd was like, sources are saying Jason Kidd wants to go to New York. Like, that's what happened. Like, Kidd literally put that out into the atmosphere, and then it became a thing. Like, Kidd is a master manipulator.
Right. I thought that. What do you think about this though? What do you think if oh shit, I lost my train of thought. So he was going to go to New York. Oh God, don't say that. I know. I'm a little bit older than you are, unfortunately. Well, my thought though was that that Kid, and see what you're saying though, kind of maybe goes against my theory here, but the thing is that Kid was feeding all this stuff to Nico, because like Nico's saying all this stuff about Luka. I never thought Nico would even know precisely what Luka was doing, because he wasn't around him as much as Kid was. So I thought Kid was the one that was feeding him all this stuff about him not working out, and
Kid was frustrated with Luka because they had created this culture around it, and then like challenging him became extraordinarily difficult. But that doesn't mean they couldn't have done it. It's just sometimes, and I'm sure you've worked in office or job environments where people refuse to have hard conversations. That's what happened. And like, I get people in the chat that are like, Kirk, nah, you're wrong. And I'm just like, I'm not wrong. It's okay. People
You're never wrong.
People can also people can also love each other and fight.
Right.
And that's one of the elements of that Mark Cuban never understood about the Dallas Mavericks, is that like some relationships have shelf lives.
Right.
Like, if you read McMahon's book, the Carlisle relationship between Luka and Carlisle was over after the Toronto Raptors game, Luka's rookie year. It was over. Over. Right. And he was coached for 3 more years because Cuban didn't know what he was doing.
Right. Now, this was my point. Now, what do you think about this? I know it's been ruled out, but this team is getting so bad that if they become the worst team, which I think there's a really, really good chance of them doing, that, and with Luka being gone and with everybody hating Nico, that the fan support is going to be even worse than it is now, and this would be the opt time for the owners to move this team to Vegas.
They can't just move the team. You have to have the other NBA owners agree to it, and they're never allowing a team to move out of this area. They just aren't. It's too big of an area. And the secondary reason is, if they do want to do expansion, which I think they do eventually, they want someone to pay for an expansion team to one of these particular markets. They're not just letting a team leave a market and then they're going to replace that with an expansion team. It's just not happening. And because the buy-in for like one of these teams is going to be in like the $4 to $7 billion range. And then that gets split amongst the 30 owners. They don't want it's a logistical nightmare for the NBA. And after what happened in Seattle under David Stern, moving to Oklahoma City, they don't want that PR mess again. They don't want it.
Hey, let me tell you something. As great as your show is with you and Josh, the Mavs Moneyball, I've been reading that for years. That is the most amazing I tell you, y'all have such a gift of writing and communicating with words on paper.
Good people, man.
You
I'm really
know,
proud of
on
them.
electric media, you and Josh, and y'all are great. And it sucks that I hope I'm wrong, but if this team goes to, you know what, but it's great to have you guys and to have you writing and not, not blowing smoke up people's ass. I mean, you're giving the pure truth, and we really appreciate that, man.
Hey, glad to have you. Talk soon, okay, buddy?
Thanks, buddy.
All right, coming up last but not least is Cam. We're somehow going on this long after a game that bad. Cam, welcome.
Hello?
How you doing? Can you hear me? We'll give Cam a second to figure out that audio. We'll talk for a minute more, and maybe Cam will pop back in here. We'll see. He had been waiting down there a while. Sometimes the audio on these things is pretty good. I really there he is. Cam, let's try this again. Can you hear me?
Okay. Yeah, yep. Can you hear me?
I can. Welcome.
Yeah. So this team is really bad. So I wanted to talk about something like that we can actually like look forward to. So I know that you think that Cooper Flag is like a power forward. I wanted to ask you, like, what dictates him being a power forward to you?
So currently, and you see this, I don't know if you've been following along with the chat, but there's been some valid criticism of Cooper in the chat that, like, right now, his ball handling and his decision making that far from the basket are not up to par. Having him run the offense when it's a bad offense is very detrimental, in my opinion. So I want him put in positions where he can build upon his confidences and then move outward. I don't right now I feel like they're having him play like Dark Souls and expecting him to know how to do everything right off the bat. And the long-term argument is, oh, he'll benefit from it because he's such a good problem solver. But at the expense, like, the Mavericks offense is so bad. So what is the upside here?
Yeah, no, I totally get what you're saying, but I mean, power forward and point guard are two different things. I agree with you. He's not a point guard, but I don't think he's a power forward. I think he's a wing player.
Sure.
I think that everything he does, it's all like, I think his greatest asset is his shooting. It doesn't look like it because he's not shooting great, but like I see his shot, and every time he shoots it, I feel like it has a good arc.
It does. It's pretty.
It's pretty. He has a pretty shot. He really does. And I just don't think, I mean, like how, I mean, I think he's like a 2 or a 3. That's what I think. It's because I saw, yeah, go ahead.
This is why I want to see like PJ, him, and Lively with a couple of guards. That's what I want to see.
Yeah, no, he definitely needs a point guard. He definitely needs a point guard. I mean, that has been said to nauseum. Like, I mean, everybody has said that. But like, I'm just saying, like, he's a 2 or a 3. He's not a 4. Because I saw that Pistons game, and there was a lot of times where he could have affected, like, he could have protected. I don't know. There was a lot of fast break. I can't say for certain plays on top of my head, but I know that I just saw him, and he's not a rim protector. He's not.
Cooper?
He's not.
No, he's not. He's a help. Like he's a help side blocker.
Yeah,
like
he's a help side blocker. That's what he is. He's not a rim protector, and that's kind of what I expect at my power forward to be.
Okay.
Like the second best rim protector on the team.
I think he might be that by default for a lot of the time, though.
Yeah.
Because it's like if you think about it, the way a lot of teams play, you get two versions of it now, where you have old school 2 bigs with kind of 3 guys around the perimeter and like 2 bigs that are playing closer. But usually one of those bigs can shoot. Think of like the Cleveland Cavaliers. Or you have what the Mavericks had the year that they went to the finals, which was, you have two really good ball handlers, a center that can rim run, and then 2 other wing adjacent guys. And so if you want to, I think we're kind of splitting hairs here to where I mainly just, I'm fine with Cooper being a secondary guy off the initiator. I just don't want him responsible for the whole thing because it's like, he's really good. He's a good decision maker, but it's not, it's the kind of ball handlers that you often see, like even like Ja Morant, like he's an unbelievable passer and decision maker out of pick and rolls. Cooper is a good decision maker out of a lot of these things. And it's, I think the argument that people like making to me, and I've been read, it's like within 2 years, if he's doing a lot of this, of course, Cooper will improve in it. But I don't know when he's gotten, there's a couple of plays, I can't remember which game, but he's had a couple of open court dunks as a result of getting kicked ahead where I'm like, that's what I want. Give me that. So I don't know.
I mean, yeah, that's great, but that doesn't project to be like, I mean, I don't want to be like negative, but
that's not negative. Like if I sort of think Cooper's the second best player on a team. That's what I think.
I don't want to be negative, but that doesn't like, open court dunks and all that stuff. It doesn't project to like, first option.
No, this is key. I don't think he is a first option. That's sort of where I'm it's too early for this. I shouldn't be like saying, but it's like right now he's very clearly not a first option. And so I don't know how do you but I also feel like with this Mavericks team, it's like they're forcing him to be like the 3.5 option. Like,
if he's not on ball, he's not a part of it. Oh, actually, past the last 2 games, like I feel like he has been a part of the offense, but like before that, if he wasn't on ball, he was like just standing in the corner. It was really frustrating to watch. And he is, I think he's like maybe like the second best shooter on this team besides Clay. Like I that's what I really think. Yeah.
I get it. Sorry, someone just showed me a very bad tweet from July, and I'm just the people who really, really like Nico, I just want to shove them in lockers. Sorry.
Yeah.
But the flag stuff this is the sort of stuff I like arguing about because it's fun. Like we're not it's not unproductive, it's not mean-spirited. It's like you're trying to project out what a guy could be. And I will say it's like the things that live in my brain rent-free about Flag, and this is like the important part, is like when he went to the Team USA practice last summer and everyone came out of it raving about him, and not just because he was young, but because he looked like he belonged there. And so it's like this Mavericks team is so mismatched to his skill set, and that's okay because they'll figure this out. I really actually do think they will figure it out, but it's going to be really painful in the short term.
Yeah. So. I mean, I'm Team Tank, so.
Well, I mean, is it tanking if you're just getting the shit kicked out of you?
Yeah, you're right. But yeah, when Luka got traded, I thought all our futures was abysmal. I was like, oh man, we're about to be fucked.
Yeah.
And then we got Cooper, and I was like, okay, so this is for me right now. I don't really care about a record. It's ass, but I mean, I already went into the season thinking this should be a Cooper development season. So whatever Jason Kidd is doing with Cooper, like I'm okay with it. I'm not trying to win. I'm not trying to do anything because this is our only pick. For what? Until 2030?
We have our picks. They're just like we have this year's pick. So that's good.
Yeah.
But then after this, it's just a lack of control. Like the way the Mavericks play doesn't influence how they have their pick.
Right. So after this year, until like 2030, 2031, like we don't have control of our pick. So we suck. Somebody else is going to get our pick. Like,
right.
You know what I mean? Like,
I do.
It doesn't make any sense to even compete this year. So, like, I don't even care about this season. I don't care about how great we play. All I care about is Cooper Flag's development because, I mean, he's the thing that's keeping me, like, tied to the Mavericks because they fucked up with Luka. So, like, we're just kind of here in this and, you know what I mean? So
I do. No, I do. It's you got to the thing that this is, and I'm sure you have people in your life where it's like, why are you watching this many Mavs games if they're not good? And it's like, well, that's not the only reason you watch. Like you find lots of you find reasons to watch. That's why like the post trade Mavericks were so difficult last year because it's like, what am I watching for? Like this is I'm not watching for Spencer Dinwiddie. He's not gonna be on the team again. Then AD was trying, but it just wasn't good enough. Is very, very, very painful. Very painful.
I don't like watching AD play basketball. I'm not gonna lie to you. I feel bad because I like all Mavericks players, but like, dude, I do not like watching AD play basketball.
It's so difficult because he's just not the player. He like, are you old enough to have happened to watch him at the University of Kentucky his freshman year?
No, I didn't watch him when he was in college. So I watched him on Pelicans though.
Okay. So first 3 years of Pelican stuff is really wild and really fun.
Yeah,
he was a different player than he is now. And I really feel like he feels obligated to be a player on offense that he's not.
Yeah. I remember there was, I think I was with somebody, but I remember watching like I think it was like his first year or second year. He's playing the Golden State Warriors, and he almost willed them to like I don't know. I think he made a game winner or some shit in game one or game two, or he almost made it. I don't fucking remember. But yeah, he was cold back in the day, but I don't know.
He was a much better defender, and part of the thing that's been very vexing to me is that when Nico pitched him as a defense first player, he just hasn't been that guy. And that's not his fault. That's a matter of age. 7 foot tall bodies stop being able to move. And he's 32. He's 33. College AD was unreal. And yeah, he's missed roughly 20 games of every season he's been in the league, but he's been in the league for 12 or 13 years. Like what?
I don't know. Like him taking like jumpers from
It's so bad.
Like 2 feet in from like the 3-point line, like he doesn't even try to get closer to the basket or the paint. Like he just takes it like 2 feet in from the 3-point line. He just takes a jumper from there, and I'm just like, what the fuck? Why? Just take 2 steps back. I mean,
it's amazing.
He's not a good shooter, anyways. But I just don't enjoy watching him play basketball. Like I just don't like, bad. Like. Man, but I want to get back to Cooper Flag.
Sure. Yeah, whatever you want to talk about, man.
Yeah, because this is what I was trying to get at. Is just like I think he's a 3. I think that he is a 2 or 3. I think that's what he projects as. I think that his best NBA skill set is his shooting. I love his shot. Every time he shoots it, it looks like high arc. Like it just looks nice. Like it looks like Dirk. It just like we can work on the touch and all that, but he shoots like 100% from.
He missed a free throw tonight. He missed a free throw. It's like but yeah, like the free throw. Like if you feel like really deep diving YouTube, I'd recommend go looking at Cooper Flag like 3 years ago. His shot was busted. So when I talk to you and tell people in the chat room, I'm like, I really think he might be special. When I wax that way on my Cooper's going to be really good. Cooper's going to be special. When I'm like feeling Cooper's amazing, it's because of how good how well his shot progressed over a 3-year period.
Yeah, man, his shot is beautiful. I mean, like I don't know, maybe I'm glazing a little bit.
You should have like look, man. If you can't be happy about a number 1 draft pick, like what the fuck are we supposed to be happy about?
Yeah.
So.
Yeah.
Well, good, man. You got anything else? Because I am tired.
Yeah. All right. Get some sleep, man.
All right. We'll talk soon.
All
right. Guys, we'll be back tomorrow for the Wizards game. That's an early game, 6 p.m. start time local, which means earlier start times for these shows. Be looking forward to that. Thanks so much for hanging out, and I appreciate everyone that supports the show. Go Mavs.